So what is going on, everybody? It's me, Troy, and I'm here again, of course, with another video. Thank you for clicking on this video wherever you are. If you're at Starbucks, thank you for clicking. If you are at Barnes and Noble, thank you for clicking. If you are at Guitar Center, thank you for clicking. And if you're at PlayStation, thank you for clicking. I found this at Walmart for $9.95. I do not work for PlayStation or Sony, but they can call me and I will be a game tester so long as they are paying, okay? Anyway, so it is me, Troy, and like I said, thank you for clicking. Okay, yeah, I'm here. It's Sunday. I got a little time here. I put some stuff together here. I got the time and the energy and the interest in this moment to want to make a video, and it's something that I want to talk about. Kind of, not really. It's just I want to share these things. The book that I'm here to share is I'm reading Before I Forget. Now I know some people be like it's Leonard, but I always end up pronouncing the O in Leonard. I say Leonard, sort of like Leonardo. I say a lot of things differently, but you know what? That's between me and God, okay? So with this, girl, I be trying to tell these folks, don't be trying to change me, but yeah, I'm reading this book right now. This is my second reading of Pitts's book. As you guys know, last year in 2020, we read The Last Thing You Surrendered by him for hashtag read so lit, and this is easily a 5-star read. If you haven't read this book yet, and y'all know I do not do recommendations and suggestions, I let y'all do whatever the hell y'all want to do with y'all reading life. But this book right here is the business, okay? I'm just letting you know, girl, this is the business, and boy. But it took me a year, but I finally got around to Before You Forget, which is his first novel. Previous to this book, he wrote 2 nonfiction pieces, including, I think, an autobiography. So I have got to say that this man, this writer, here is why I love his work so much and why I am enthusiastic to try to push myself further into reading his next 2 books. Pitts has, I don't know who taught him this, but Pitts has the ability, the craft, the ability to completely engage the reader's visualization tools. Um, I think that he does it really well through dialogue. He profuses much more dialogue than heavy paragraphs filled with the prose, the lyricisms. He does not preach to the reader. He does not try to over express himself and the messages that tries to convey to the reader. He literally, to me, engaging the reader's visualization techniques and whatnot, he conveys everything he has to say through the characters, the dialogues, the scenes alone. He does not, as I said, over express, over or conflate his message through, like I said, prose and lyricism. I mean, it's really that simple. Like the minute you are reading his books, it is like watching a movie and you are just going along with it, and everything he's trying to convey to you is happening right there. Almost, we'll use the phrase in real time, but not really. It's a really stark difference after reading, I really don't want to do this, but after reading The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr., which came out earlier this year in 2021. This came out in 2009. But yeah, I mean, there's a difference. Throw your hair back. But it is what it is. I don't think it wasn't a bad book, but this is the business. But anyway, I am on page 220. See my Golden Girls bookmark. And it's Sunday, so I'm gonna probably read to probably page 300 and then finish the book tomorrow on Monday. And there's the author right there. But the story is about a man named Moses Johnson. He is a singer. He had a very successful and bright career. Of course, that career took place between like the early 70s to maybe the late 80s. And then, of course, he phased out, but he has the residual income from his dealings within the music business. But he was very popular at one point. He had the rock star lifestyle, which included girls, cocaine, traveling around the world. He had it all in excess. But he did end up having a child with his high school sweetheart, and that child's name is Troi. Now, at the start of the book, Moses is 49 years old, and he finds out, or he is diagnosed with, after three opinions, he is diagnosed with onset or early Alzheimer's. He's only 49, and usually Alzheimer's sets in a little later in life, but he learns that this is because of a genetic issue that he has, and his primary worry is, you know, he had this child named Troi, who Moses was not a part of his life, but this disease is going to affect Troi, and then subsequently affect Troi's grandson. And Moses is at the brink of wanting to just go ahead and commit suicide, but his focus is to try to make amends with his son Troi for not being a part of his life, to sort of set Troi up and get Troi ready to be a man and understand that he has to start taking care of himself a lot better before he finds himself suddenly at 49 diagnosed with this disease. The troubling issue, or the conflict here, is that at the beginning of the book, Troi is a part of this armed robbery situation of a convenience store with two other friends of his. This armed robbery ends up turning into murder, as one of his friends ends up killing the convenience store owner. Then, of course, with the three of them together, armed robbery, they all are going to get the blame. But there just isn't enough evidence to pinpoint exactly who was the one that committed the murder. When it comes to crime and lawyers and the criminal justice system, early on, there's a lot of moving parts in that aspect. So what Moses does is he bails his son out of jail, and let the lawyers and the cops and the whatnot carry on with the investigation, which bailing Troi out essentially leaves his other two partners still within lockup. And then of course they worry about who is going to snitch on who, and etc. But down the line, Moses takes this opportunity, seeing that his son is in this very down and distressful position in life, where he know at 19 years old he might lose his son to just life itself or the streets. He takes this time before he commits suicide to try to explain to his son the importance of growing up and, of course, being a man, while at the same time trying to make amends for, having left Troi behind. And it's such an interesting book because it ties in Moses' father himself, who lives in California, who is dying of cancer, and who does request for Moses to come see him before his death, although they have a very traumatic relationship and acrimonious relationship among one another. It's the pattern of the father leaving behind the son, and then the son subsequently going through life without the father and making sad mistakes because father didn't teach him how to be a man. It's all there in the pattern. So Moses takes Troi after Troi is released from jail, and they travel to California to meet Troi's grandfather, who's dying, as well as Moses' father. So it's a big story on making amends and fatherhood and manhood and all those masculine things, that I sometimes I can't relate to be honest with you. Me, I'm like, I don't care. Just leave me alone. But very good book. And it's so interesting because this book also looks at following the narrative of Troi's mother, as well as one of Troi's partners in the crime, his brother. So lots of different narratives moving along here. But I am just loving this book. I checked it out from the library, and I'm like, child, I might just go buy this book and put it on my shelf next to, I almost told this, next to The Last Thing You Surrender. I might just put it on my shelf. But this is the book that I'm currently reading. I'm about to go eat. I'm going to make me a cup of tea, and I'm going to get down to reading before I forget, because I got me a week coming up, child. I got me a week coming up. I'm starting my next course soon. It's just one of those things. I got all okay. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'm just sharing what I'm reading. I think that this could kind of be tied into March Mystery Madness. There is a crime involved, okay? Crime fiction. But anyway, that's it. Let me know what you're reading, and I'll talk to y'all later.